The hopes of the United Kingdom all rest on this upcoming best-of-3, as the United Kingdom is going to face Italy in an epic series to determine who's going to follow Germany and Hungary into the quarterfinals. Now, their opponents is not going to be an easy one to beat here, because Team Italy has given us one hell of an impression thus far. And Bakery and Tetra, how optimistic are you of the UK maybe making it?
The United Kingdom have one chance to make it out, and that is by 2-0ing Italy.
Yes, this is the maths we have attempted, but maths on stream is a traditionally bad idea. But from what we can work out, it does appear to be a 2-0 needed, similar to the last series we just had.
Exactly. 2-0 in favor of the UK. They make it to a tiebreaker. If they drop even one map, it's going to be Italy and France who make it out of the groups.
Correct. So Italy, all they need is one. Same as Germany, only this time it's not to go through in first in the group, it is to go through in second, because France, with a 3-0, are guaranteed at the top.
And guys, give me a quick summary of what the Italian team excels at. What are they known for?
I'm trying to remember the games now, because we have had so many today. Bakery,
the Italian team has 3 fantastic Hero League players, and initially you looked at them and they had no big names, and a lot of people underrated them, but they seriously performed well because of names such as Booyah and Quasar and also Fatal Error. The one big name, as you just mentioned, is Moldavius. He's an Asmodan one pick from the Hero League, but as he has shown, he's also very proficient on that Stukov.
Yep, he's played some very solid Stukov and Asmodan. The Asmodan was in one of the first games we saw in this tournament. The very first game we saw. And it was just like, welcome to the Nexus games. Oh, Asmodunk. And it destroyed their opponents.
And if we then talk about their opponents, you guys should know them at least a little bit. What is the strength of the UK team that they need to put in here?
The UK team has been changing their style up from game to game, as we have been seeing. Just about on the first day, they were a little bit wonky in their style, but they have a load of very solid carry players, one of them being Carry and the other one being Lampy. If they're able to get a Tracer, for example, or maybe a Gul'dan play, they have shown they're able to get some pretty good kills. And of course, the double reset comp has shown to work relatively well for them.
I would say the strongest asset that the United Kingdom team have is their team coordination and their synergy. They have been performing very well in scrims, but it just hasn't translated over to their stage performance. Italy's a scary team, but this could definitely be a series that the UK steps up in and takes the 2-0.
Yeah, definitely true. And they're going to have to pull off their A game if they really want to get a chance for the tiebreaker.
The UK have been increasing their score by 1 every single time. They started off with 0. They then scored 1 map. But there is also the chance that this, even if this, if we're going by their total map score increases by 1 each time, then this will be a 2-1 for Italy, and they still don't go through.
Yeah, absolutely. The maps are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the battlegrounds, bans, and picks. That's what we're all about here. The UK, this time I want to make sure, Bakery, is that Warhead Junction?
That is Warhead Junction,
nice.
You're right.
Got him. So, UK doesn't want to play it there, and Blackheart's Bay is denied by the Italians.
Yeah, Italy wants to play something potentially a little bit more straight up, but they don't want to lose to some interesting PvE similar to what Germany did in Group B.
As does the United Kingdom, also taking out Warhead Junction, which we saw last series to be a bit of a crazy map.
Yep, just a little bit. I can tell you, though, that the battleground we're going to take a look at right now is not a crazy one. Not a necessarily crazy one. It is Cursed Hollow. I love the purple lighting behind me. And folks, what can we expect from the UK team here? We saw a lot of Tracer. Do you think that's an option?
It's definitely an option if they can get to it. They're also very comfortable on the Gul'dan and the Genji, as we did mention a little bit earlier. It very much depends which way they want to take the draft, and of course, if Tassadar is let through the draft. If Tassadar is let through, then Tracer is going to be almost a certainty.
Bakery, give me an all-star player for the UK that you want to see perform like never before.
I think God of the West. So he's one of the key players for the United Kingdom who in scrims and in the Hero League, he's such an impressive player on that front line. But in the tournament, he's been playing Mjolnir, he's been missing Stormbolts, he's been getting one shot. It just hasn't been working out. But I believe in him. I think this is the series where he can step up and actually carry the UK.
All right, the draft has begun, and let's see what the Italian team is going to ban out. Tassadar, no longer here.
Yeah, there is a chance of playing Tracer without a Tassadar with a double support instead, but it becomes much less likely in the UK, removing that Garrosh from play.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
It's
first band that reminds me of Hero League.
I was going to say it reminds me of NA. But yeah,
the thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at Cursed Hollow. I'm looking at Moldavius on that Italian team, and I'm not seeing an Asmodan ban.
So far, no, that's very true, yeah. But they are starting off with a little bit of standard, bringing in with Rhaegar, and we immediately see God of the West Muradin and the Genji.
The Genji, like, which Tetcher said he expected to see, and the Muradin, which I expected to see. The UK sticking to their guns.
Yeah, they know what they like, and they like Muradin and Genji. God of the West, he had other options like maybe a Stitches, but in this case, Muradin, he wants something to set up for that Genji.
Now, I'm very curious if the UK feel the need to ban out the Asmodan. There is still definitely space for it in Italy's draft, and there is still space for a Stukov, of course, which would be Moldavius' backup hero.
If you end up picking an Asmodan, what is the normal way of playing with it in the competitive scene? It's certainly a little bit different from Hero League, where it's normally very easy to just lane and split push all day. What is the general approach here?
I think they'll most likely be looking to store the tributes with the core part of the team and to have the Asmodan just somewhere else. Anywhere else, actually. Just split pushing the lane and really causing havoc with his passive.
What is a favored build on this map? Because a lot of the lanes are split, so potentially sieging Wrath could have difficulties, and you're going to have huge difficulties with Taste Blood. Is it worth Laser?
I could see a Laser build. Laser build is a very scary 1v1 build. And he would be a solo lane if he was to be picked. So if the United Kingdom opt for Sonya, I'd expect Laser build.
All right, Moldavius already causing a lot of speculation, but it looks like the other hero that he excelled at, the Stukov, is going to be taken out.
Unless Team UK plans on picking Asmodan, which would be the best swerve I have seen in this tournament. But we have not seen them play it. We have not even seen them practice it, so we do not know if they have a hero player who can play the hero.
I think you've been watching too much professional wrestling, Thatcher, because that is a move that would only come out in that setting.
Biggest heel turns in esports as we wait to see the UK's next two picks. We've seen them try to run the double reset comp, the Li Ming coming in every now and again.
Yeah, Li Ming actually doing very, very well at the Nexus games compared to some of the other statistics in Professional Heroes of Storm, where she has kind of disappeared for the most part and being replaced by other mages such as Chromie or Gul'dan. She's celebrating an astounding comeback here in this tournament, isn't she?
She's not picked very often, but when she has been picked, she has looked scary indeed. Abathur being secured, the Abathur-Genji combo, very scary, but also Abathur's quite weak into Asmodan.
It's starting to get more and more encouraged at this point. Let's see if Italy takes the bait and goes for that Asmodan style. Team UK, they still have options for a second support or another damage dealer here as their last pick. If not, double Genji is still pretty scary.
Can you elaborate on why you would consider Abathur such a weak pick into a potential Asmodan? Because Abathur itself is normally a pretty good hero here.
Asmodan is a global hero, but he has almost no global pressure. Instead, he relies on waves pushing into him or soaking waves by hatting minion waves that kill each other very slowly. Now, if you have something like an Asmodan who can use his trait, that demonic minion, I think it's called, on a lane, then that shoves into the Asmodan, takes all the ammo very quickly, and will start destroying walls.
Yeah,
I'm thinking General of Hell, but now I'm thinking that's a talent. So
yeah, I'm not really sure either.
We don't play Asmodan. Support main here, tank main here, which is not very helpful here.
They do not opt for it, instead going for the Oriole, which we have not seen have much success on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, very true, and not a huge amount of success in this tournament. It's been very hit or miss.
It looks like Italy is trying to play this first game very safely with a double support into the top tier supports with Avala.
Yeah, exactly, and they only need one. So playing it safe, doing the opposite of what Germany did in game number one. They want to try and play standard and give themselves the best possible chance of winning straight up, as opposed to trying for something a little bit crazy and having it potentially not work.
I can already see this triple lane potentially Rhaegar, Oriole, and Vala look very scary when it comes to pushing. And even if Rhaegar ends up being a solo laner, an ETC in there actually adds extra kill potential. So this is a very scary laning situation, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm looking at the hacker, especially the amount of gank potential that he has, but also there is no cleanse, so any isolation or tongue that he does hit is going to be really impactful.
And the UK pick up a solo laner, leaving it as Malfurion solo support, unless of course we see Malfurion clones coming in from the Abathur.
Who do you clone in those battles? Is it really always the Genji, or is a Sonya clone going to work out?
Sonya clone's reasonable, it's just you don't get Wrath, which is a huge part of Sonya's kit.
Mjolnir clone is never bad, but also at the same time, you don't get that healing static, you don't get Avatar, you don't get the Stormbolt quest.
Yeah. Honestly,
so again, not ideal.
Malfurion clone doesn't seem like a terrible idea.
I think Genji clone is very scary.
It's the best, but if your Genji clone's not getting as much value, maybe keeping the real Genji alive with that Dragon Blade could be the play.
All right, hashtag #ItWin if you think Italy is going to take this series with a strong draft, or if you think the UK is going to do it, hashtag UKWin. I'm going to pass this question right to you guys. Who do you think had the better draft in this game one?
Italy's draft is standard, and it should work. I'm going with Team Italy.
Bakery.
I'm not a fan of the oil. I'm going to be walking off stage, getting on my phone and typing UK win in the chat.
That's the excitement I wanted to see from you here, cheering for your countrymen in the UK, boys. And I think I'm gonna join you, Bakery. I think the UK...
now I feel like a traitor.
Yeah, get out of here, Thatcher.
Executed for treason now. Wing will be so displeased.
All right, no, I really think they do have a solid draft, and more importantly, their mindset, I think, is top-notch here for this series. And they can really come in swinging, and they need to. A 2-0 is what they need.
Yep, they need to be able to do this, and Genji with resets, if they can get it rolling, then they have the chance, but they need to get rolling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if the Genji is going to be able to make it roll. Tetcher, introduce Team Italy to me.
Spawning on the left-hand side, it is Team Italy with Sesk playing on the Valor, Booyah on the ETC, Moldavius is playing that Ariel, Rayquaza is on the Dahaka, and it's going to be Fatal Error on the Rhaegar.
And Team UK consists of Billy on the Malfurion, Kari is going to play that, Abathur Khan on the Sonya, God of the West on Muradin, and Lampy plays our Genji.
And Lampy on the Genji, we have seen it used to great effect and carry.
Oh yeah.
We've also seen him also play the Genji and the Li Ming to great effect, but not on either of them in this game.
Yeah, Lampy is definitely a player that you will always have to have on your radar. If he plays heroes like Genji, Tracer, all those playmaking assassins, you can never rest safe. You will always have to be on your tippy toes.
As we see, Fatal Error playing actually everyone playing very safe in lane, except for the currently 4-man bot lane. As Rayquaza was looking for an early kill, not able to find one, instead is going to help his team get an early wave clear and then rotate to the top lane.
Lampy got caught by the power slide, but we do have to mention the Dahaka here. Really cool move. This one entire minion wave gives him additional essence that he can use then in the top lane to dominate. Look at how smartly Rayquaza plays this well, drawing the attention of the minion wave to the bottom so the towers wouldn't have to use ammo.
So we see Sesk getting engaged on, but a beautiful power slide, keeping him alive, and that once again forces Lampy back. Now, we have to say that obviously this is not all on Lampy, resets are good, but the Abathur hatting a Sonya is one of the most terrifying combos in anyone's Hero League game.
Yeah, absolutely, and Rayquaza can never be too sure of going all in against the Sonya, because that feisty little Abathur hat could at any given time pop up to support the Sonya, as Tetra said. Now, I also want to pay special attention to Moldavius on the Oriel. I believe it's the first time we're seeing him on this hero. Up to this point, he was mainly playing Stukov and Abathur and Asmodan.
I'm pretty sure you are correct. This is a first time for everything star situation right now. Very high in terms of energy, able to keep his team nice and topped up. Very helpful in this lane.
And it is indeed Rhaegar in that solo lane, as we established a couple of moments ago. So the Rhaegar, for support, he brings exceptional dueling capabilities and strong wave clear into the game. And that's exactly why he can do solo laning very efficiently. He can take mercenaries very quickly. It's just such a useful hero overall.
Indeed, he's been doing a marvelous job, and he's actually pushing up that lane very aggressively, which is risky against a Muradin who is rotating between the two lanes, as we see Khan spinning back towards his side of the map.
I was actually expecting a drag here, but I think he probably had just used it a couple of moments ago.
As Sesk once again takes damage, Lampy continuing to put the pressure on, but continued denial from Booyah and those detainment strikes from Moldavius.
And this laning setup all of a sudden doesn't really seem optimal for the UK team. Normally what Genji wants to do is he wants to gank other lanes. He wants to help the solo lane make that solo...
Very, very strange indeed, but They
he has
both
to.
towers,
Yeah.
but they're still fighting back. They haven't lost a huge amount, although those 2 towers are a big chunk of XP.
All right, is Sonya going to be able to zone out Rayquaza?
Yeah,
Looks like he can, okay.
No, she's fine. She's fine.
That's fine. That's fine for now. Shout out to Team Freedom here at this moment. It's always good to see a little bit of love for an NA brethren.
Absolutely. A lot of love for our NA friends over in the North Americas and in all the other regions, actually,
Yeah.
because we love them, quite frankly.
Type 1 in the chat if you're watching from a region that's not EU, because I would love to see how much of a global audience we have here in the Europe.
Agreed. That was
Nexus
fun.
games.
We will have to check that. As we do see an Innovate talent at level 1, by the way, from Malfurion. We haven't been over that a huge amount. Genji can, if he wants to play this aggressively like he is doing so far, can burn through a fair amount of mana.
All right, a little bit of harass coming in from Lampy on the Genji. He continues to hold this lane and lead his teammates to pretty good early game. Like, Abathur struggles in the early game, but they were able to pick up the first tribute, and he's going in. Booyah with the engage.
As we see Booyah trying to get it there, Zest once again suffering from this Lampy harass, but a beautiful heal by Ariel,
Yes.
but it's not enough as Zest goes down, but God of the West is traded for.
Yeah, that was a 1-for-1 trade.
Wild.
In the meantime, there's a duel. Is the Hawk actually going to do it?
Meanwhile,
Oh, no.
beautiful dodge, and oh, there we go. Gets the kill, but round 2, a new challenge.
No, Failure, you...
runs away.
I was going to say, the Rhaegar was definitely a little bit too late here, but can they actually do it? Rhaegar's going back in, double support, OP.
Double support. Even the Abathur hat, not enough to keep Sonya alive. Doesn't have sober transference yet.
And look at Billy and Lampy, they're all out of juice. No health, no mana left. Lampy going in because Abathur doesn't care about either of those.
Fatal error is low, but Lampy being forced back to the start of Booyah, and God of the West dies again.
God of the West is God of nothing right now until he's back in the game. Now Lampy uses the district, but Malfurion gets exposed in the meantime.
Just anime betrayals. We see Genji abandoning Malfurion to die.
All right, well, there could only be one survivor, and it looks like Genji was like, nope, not this time. But I need healing.
I need the fountain. You're my support. You either heal me or you die. But yeah, we saw one of them was going to get dragged, and Genji, the difference is, hasn't escaped. So he dashes out. He didn't have enough health to survive it if he'd stayed. So instead, it is Malfurion who went down, as Genji continues to try and harass Desk.
Exactly. God of the West positions himself in the bush, tries to go for a gank. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. God of the West is going in.
Once again, a beautiful power slide, Tainment Strike, and Zesk is fine. The protection onto this Valor is so far working very well. Only 1 kill on it so far.
And the unfortunate thing for the United Kingdom here is that they're wasting a lot of energy and a lot of time to really set up those ganks. And if you don't end up killing anyone, look at the remaining lanes. Abathur had to retreat. Rhaegar is doing such a good job at damaging this bottom fort, but he saw a little helper dropping down from the skies.
A mule has been picked by Abathur, and that will repair this bottom fort, removing the damage that was done to it.
All right, not too
It
bad.
also restores ammo, which will soon no longer be relevant.
Rayquaza, that was a very early burrow. I think he was expecting a Stormbolt relatively early. Thank God for the Italian team. He wasn't get punished by. Look at that minefield here.
Yep, Zesk finds one. Unfortunately, no one is actually denying.
Fatal error.
Fatal error, very nearly dying here. Lampy takes 2 tower shots.
Uh-oh.
Die here. Lampy, where are you going to go? Multi-shot. Looks like he's fixing.
No, this is so smart. This is so smart. That was mechanically just a masterclass, if you will. On the right-hand side, ETC was catching or trying to catch any potential Swift Strikes. On the left-hand side, Fatal Error was just barely out of range to prevent the reset from happening and him falling. Pretty cool move. Nicely done by Italy.
Nicely executed indeed. As we see the bot trade coming in for both teams, Italy able to clear much quicker due to a player advantage currently, as Abathur isn't helping with this. He is instead soaking the lanes with his symbiote hat.
Look at Rhaegar delaying this actually. They want to squeeze out as much time as humanly possible before the tribute spawns. Now they're taking it with 10 minutes on the clock. In this way, the boss is actually going to have a better time pushing without the other the enemy team immediately being able to respond to it.
Lampy finds ETC, gets an ab of the hat straight away, but
First
Fatal
point.
Error currently channeling. Lampy will have to dash into this if he wants
Oh,
to.
no!
And he's going to find Valor, able to escape though. Nicely done, got in the west. Also is now here, Khan is available as well.
Copy is popped.
Eats a lot of damage. Like you said, the copy is popped as Carry is going to begin poking down. Khan going for the capture here.
Yeah, I think Khan is actually going to hold it, and that is a huge deal. That was very well played by the United Kingdom. It didn't really look good in the beginning, did it? Because Genji barely missed it. But with united efforts and united combinations, they could do it.
There was also the fact Genji was actually able to escape the ETC, which was a big deal.
That was
Sonya
really
eats
oh,
the
no.
root. Booyah gets the stun. This should not be enough for a kill.
The question
the
is-
West continues to annoy. Here's the Dragon Blade, which was not used in the previous fight. Mosh Pit, though. Detainment Strike keeps them in. Twilight Dream allowing them to keep going. UK pushing through this, and Moldavius will fall.
Yeah,
And
Moldavius will fall, and Lampy isn't done yet.
Oh my god! They're pushing through, Kendrick. They get another kill looking for Booyah, but they've run out of lane to push through.
Lampy continues to deliver the bloody business on the Genji, taking one life after the other. And for the very first time in this game number 1, Team Italy is on the back foot, and the United King is looking good.
Looking good indeed. They weren't able to finish off their opponents. The mosh pit was beautiful. Even a detainment strike pushing Genji further back into it to make sure that he couldn't dash forwards after it expired.
Yeah.
But Malfurion wasn't in the mosh pit, and the Twilight Dream allowed the turnaround, and it was quick enough that Dragon Blade was still up.
Definitely true. The mercenary camp was taken now in the middle for Team Italy. All heroic abilities except the mosh pit and the ancestral are probably going to be ready for this next fight. Booyah is intercepting so many projectiles. Murden couldn't be stopped though. It interrupts for now. Booyah is very low on mana.
He's low on mana, but Team UK are low on heroics. Only with Wrath the Berserker and
think
Ultimate
they can do
Evo
it, though.
here. They are using Ultimate Evo as Carry denies Fatal Error from capping. Valor finishes a Hungering Arrow, which is nice, as Carry continues to deny from the side. Shurikens flying in all directions as they drive back Team Italy. And
They can
Khan
take this
is
once
going
again.
to get another tribute as Carry continues to be annoying, but here's the drag on finishing him off. He gets taken out. He was silenced, even though he had Avatar. He was not
Malfurion.
able to survive. Malfurion is doomed dead.
I mean, we talk a lot about dragons in Heroes of the Storm these days. I can tell you one thing. The double dragon here by UK with the Genji copy is doing wonders, is working like a charm for them. The double Genji pressure is always enough to drive Italy back and prevent them from taking the tribute.
Double dragons are nice, but I'm really enjoying the Dahaka dragons as he's really getting kill after kill so far with this in this game.
I couldn't agree more. That was a very nice thing to do. Indeed, Dahaka actually, whenever he is picked, and that doesn't happen that often in the Nexus games, he performs normally quite well.
Exactly. Potentially a little bit of underrating, but either way, it's very similar to a situation we see with Li Ming, perhaps, where she's picked in a situation where she works.
Wow,
Rayquaza
Lampy
is found here. Lampy committing to this. They have 7 seconds before this fort comes back up. There's no minions. Rayquaza gets the drag. Billy is coming in, and Rayquaza is what we call very outnumbered, but he's still going to try by some time, and unfortunately, the fort was not able to slow this down thanks to a single ab of a Locust.
Yeah, definitely true. But once again, Dahaka can buy a lot of time, and Italy is using that wisely in the middle. In the end, they're trading fort for fort, which is definitely the best possible outcome the Italian team could have hoped for.
The difference, it is actually exactly 4 for 4. As a mid lane is the only one available for Italy. Top lane is still available for the UK. Difference is top lane that UK already took down Italy's fort in is their boss lane. Bot lane is Italy's boss lane. So both teams have an open path to go through if they're able to claim their boss.
Definitely true. Now watch the Siege Giant camp on the top lane. That is definitely going to be a huge factor for the UK to consider. It will definitely take down that fort if left unattended. And the next curse, the next tribute is probably going to spawn relatively soon. And keep in mind, we still have 2 tributes collected for the Italian team, and 1 curse could really allow the Italians to snowball out of control here.
Yeah, this could be Italy's chance to snowball. Like you said, they have 16. The curse could be good. In fact, they're going to reinforce the Siege Giant in the top lane that was left unattended. And they're going to try and take down this fort.
Lampy, by the way, on the Genji going for a very interesting level 13 talent, the Shingan, which allows him to deal extra damage if all 3 shurikens hit the same target. And if you take a look at Italy here, the ETC and the Dahaka, those are all massive hitboxes.
Very true. And there's also the fact that Genji is going very deep with that alpha, potentially Abathur has. And that allows him, seeing as he's going to be very close to whoever he engages upon, to have a better chance. Tunneling claws from Rayquaza, trying to find a way out. He tries to borrow away, but no chance there. Although Italy with the risky call here. UK though, they're just going to trade it.
I was going to say, bosses are being traded once more, and Rayquaza, it's such a weird situation. He finds himself in all the time. He's always the scapegoat to blame then if he dies, but he always dies for a reason. He always creates space.
I think we found the new Leoric. If someone's going to die, it might as well be Rayquaza, as we do see Team UK in position to take the tribute, and that's good news. It means there is going to be no curse on them as that boss pushes in the top lane.
Exactly.
There are still Siege Giants there too.
That was a very good location for the United Kingdom. Not only did it arrive when Dahaka was still dead, but also it arrived near the boss location they had just captured, so it was way easier for the United Kingdom team to take it. And Fatal Arrow, he made a Fatal Arrow there.
He wanted mercenaries, and he got punished. Here's Dahaka though, but not able to get him right. Tracks down Rude Valkyrie, and are they still going to try to steal the cap? Looks like they are.
Yeah, not taken just yet. Not taken. Now it's taken.
And they got it. Yeah, Booyah not wanting to take the risk because that boss was still actually, I believe, pushing the bot lane a bit. And the difference, boss is now down. In the top lane, however, we saw a little bit of damage onto the keep, but guess what? Abathur still has Mule.
Yeah, what a bro. That feisty little guy, always a good helper. And Abathur is the only person left in the Nexus who can still summon him. I wonder what kind of special relationship the Zerg and the Terran Mule are going to have here.
Exactly, very true. Not exactly, because it used to, the reason it is a Mule is that's how it used to be available on multiple heroes. That used to be what it is, but now it's only available on Abathur. Yeah. Maybe it deserves a reskin. Make it more Zerg friendly.
like a mini Baneling coming down, and
that would have the opposite effect of a Mule.
Damaging over time. I mean, imagine you could summon that Baneling into the enemy base and just gradually damages.
Or it just disables.
Yeah, maybe
just drop it next to it, it just disables the fort, so if you have a minion wave pushing.
Booyah.
As we see Booyah getting focused down, Lampy throwing all of those Shin Gun shurikens. Booyah gets dropped so low as Rayquaza is now in danger as well. The Genji clone has been propped.
Here we go, Rayquaza in trouble, gets focused a lot. Look at the Shingan shuriken damage by Lampy, it's insane!
Ancestral healing having to be used. Carry is still dropping damage as well. With the silence from the isolation completely missing. UK are able to drive Italy back, but they don't pick up the kill.
The copy has been dealt with, and that was a beautiful rain of vengeance to really stall the onslaught from the United Kingdom. But once again, there was so much pressure going on. I think Lampy is probably one of the deadliest Genjis in this tournament. I would love to see a statistics at some point, because I think his hero damage must be through the roof.
He is definitely dropping lots of hero damage and doing lots of burst damage as well. With that Shin Gun, it is working in this particular style he's playing the hero.
Okay, Tetcher, curse point. There's a minefield. Booyah is going to have to clear that out. In the meantime, the UK is not fully grouped up yet. Sonya is only arriving, and Genji is trying to go for another flank.
Ultimate Evolution just came off cooldown.
God of the West, here he comes.
Khan in trouble, God of the West moving in. Lampy from behind as they move forward. Where is this Khan?
Mosh pit hits 3!
The Mosh pit does hit 3. No one can interrupt. Down goes Malfurion. No, Malfurion staying alive actually. The Ice
He was interrupted though.
Him alive with Sonya down there. The Dragon Blade is getting work done as Seth is the new focus God of the West.
Wow!
The Avatar hat is so tough to kill. They don't even use Evolution for the sake of the hat.
The elusive Lampy just does die. Here comes the burning copy.
Double dwarf as they push through onto Booyah. So much crowd control as Lampy focuses down the ETC. But Rayquaza being a good destruction. Lampy in trouble. He has to jump away as Carry doing everything he can. And Cecil saves Booyah, but we still see Rhaegar going down.
The copy is no more. Genji is about to fall as well. Rayquaza wants him, but he doesn't get him.
Lampy microing away.
Oh!
Deflect respect not proccing, and the two players decide to just give each other the respect.
This is not over. This is not over yet. Booyah is still here to contest it. Genji is joining the fray. Abathur as well. And I think the Italian team will actually going to have to give it up.
UK will eventually
look at the bottom lane too, top lane.
Yeah, the UK will eventually win this fight just due to the fact that Abathur Symbio will out-sustain God of the West. The Dahaka and the ECC can't kill him alone. Ariel's on the way, so I guess the sustain fight would go for a very long time. But with Sonya here, they have to give it up, and the curse is on.
Abathur single-handedly won the UK team that team fight. Not only was he supporting Muradin, was he supporting Genji, he also popped the ideal copy target. The Muradin target is the tankiest one available, being able to contest it for the longest period of time. In the meantime, also, all that lane pressure by Abathur thanks to the head. Mercenaries pushing in the bottom, Minions pushing in the top.
And Heroes pushing in the top.
Oh, yeah.
UK moving in with all 4 members. Ultimate Evolution already back off cooldown as we see the top keep going down.
UK, can they do the unthinkable? Can they take down Italy 2-0 and bring us a couple of tiebreakers? They cannot afford to lose even one map. Booyah. Uh-oh.
Death Mosh is available for Booyah, so even if they kill him here, this could turn into a disaster, but for now, they're turning around. Here's the real Mosh. Twilight Dream is beautiful to turn around as a double Genji coming into the backline. Shield of Hope from Ariel trying to keep the team alive as Lampy is trying to kill off Booyah.
And this was good!
As Booyah is staying alive. Rhaegar is rooted by Malfurion. UK are starting to split with Muradin already down.
In the meantime, Keeps fell in the Italian base. They need to get heroes right now to retaliate. Maybe go for a double boss play. Maybe go for a boss plus key play. They need to do something right now. Look at all those red dots on the minimap. Bottom and middle are heavily sieged. They need to take this really, really fast. The remaining UK members could even go for a backdoor.
And that's what they're doing. They're wrapping around here, moving into the enemy base. Can Italy finish the boss in time, or will this become a disaster? Here's the Abathur hat. Rayquaza, super speed, moving in, looking for Lampy. He
got him!
Rhaegar moving in.
Oh no!
Gets the final shot. Billy is in full retreat. Arrow demounts him though. Abathur hat can try and save him with the Envenom spikes. They're remounting. Billy drops the root. Mount
Vala.
From the side. The great escape by Billy. He gets demounted. He gets the Abathur hat. The strongest Malfurion. He dodges the tongue with Ice Block, but even he can't survive 5 members. But look at the time he brought. Everyone else is going to be back. The problem is his depth is so staggered now.
Abathur in the top lane did get a little bit of additional pushing going in. In the meantime, the boss was hammering on the keep. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to destroy it. The Mule is helping, but it's not enough. Italy may go for another boss, and this could be potential knockout. This boss is going to be very powerful after 20 minutes into the game.
And they are pushing with it this time. They do have to keep an eye on top lane, but the fact is they have a global. Dahaka can move in, clear up any catapult potential there will be there, and then come join his team when he is required.
Italy, it is their move to make. All the lanes are being de-pushed right now. Their cores should be safe. The boss, the Siege Giants, they're trying to squeeze in every ounce of value they can find. All of their heroic abilities are ready. Malfurion still needs 10 seconds.
Now Furion, when he is back though, he will have Astral Communion. A huge, potentially game-changing level 20 that he can try and turn it around. Copy is dropped on the Genji. They're moving forward. Malfurion is back, and the keep has fallen as Muradin is getting focused onto, but now he's in the backline. But the vulnerability on him, he's taken down. Here comes Genji into the backline with the Dragon Blade, but he's not doing enough. The zone mosh pit, beautiful play by ETC, completely shutting down Lampy, who has to dash away, barely protects himself from that last Hungering Arrow shot, as we do see the final turnaround attempt to Astral Communion to try and do the damage to hold them in the game. Car goes down, the Shield of Hope is too good. Genji is the last-ditch effort, trying to do something. He doesn't have an Abathur hat. He dodges the stun, he's still alive. Mule is on the core, but Genji has been taken out, and that is GG. And Italy take game number 1.
Italy has done it. They took game number 1 and eliminated all dreams for the UK to go into a tiebreaker series. What a game. What a performance by both teams. I really have to say this is the best performance I've seen by the UK team. They had so many good movements, both when it comes to mechanics and how they control their heroes and how they rotate around the map, Bakri.
Absolutely. I'm proud of them, and they were so close, but in the end, Italy showing why they have qualified for playoffs in that game.
This is the story of Team UK, especially if you count the games 2 days ago as well.
2-1 to Finland,
The 2 words that describe the UK games, so close. And that's all we can really say.
Okay, so I've got a few replays for you. The first out of the 3 is going to be on the bot lane. Now, I want you guys to watch Billy on the Malfurion. He makes an amazing play here, and he's not been able to replicate earlier. So he walks in, Twilight Dreams to interrupt. The Ancestral is forced onto the ETC, and that stops the Ancestral being used on anyone else, such as maybe that Oriole who might have been able to survive. Now, when you have Genji Abathur, it's very easy to chase. So they chase down, they get the Oriole kill, they get the Valor kill. And that's all because there was a value Moss which they thought could win them the game, but Billy had other ideas. As we'll see later, it changes a bit in a later team fight.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, the next replay, let's get straight into it. It's the 12 vs 13. Now, the UK have no business even being here, but look how well they use this copy from Carry and how well God of the West zones on this Mjolnir. They're actually just going to get the cap, like outright. But look, Rayquaza, he lands the tongue, Moldavis on the Oriole lands the stun, and the isolation to follow. We got the curse, but we lost the player, and that's going to completely waste the curse. That's going to lose our 13 spike advantage, and that's going to keep Italy in control of the game. Such a key play by Rayquaza, but another key mistake by God of the West on the Mjolnir.
Absolutely, and I do have to give a lot of credit to the Italian team. The way they executed their team composition in the team fights was admirable, because so much pressure was being applied by God of the West, and most notably Lampy on that Genji and the Abathur on top.
Now, it's our 3rd replay. I told you guys to watch Billy earlier, and we're going to watch Billy again in this replay. So Booyah, again, time after time, lands such amazing mosh pits, and this team fight is going to be absolutely no exception. The setup from UK, amazing again. Lampy all the way on the backside. Booyah, he initially gets low, but here he goes again. The mosh pit. What's Billy? He walks into it. It's so close. He has Twilight Dream up, but that is going to secure the death of Sonya. Now, but he tries again, but Booyah completely on top of Billy this time. Stuns him before he can get out. Meanwhile, Lampy, though, look at the amount of value he's getting from this Dragon Blade. He's not level 20, though, so it does time out. We are actually able to secure the Valor kill before Ancestral comes back up off of cooldown, and now there's an absolute clown fiesta fight over who actually secures that tribute cap. But Billy, he saved the game earlier, he could not do it again.
Yeah, and this was a very, very sad moment for the UK, because over long periods of time, it looked like they were able to do it. They had good counter reactions. They were always pressuring the base. And that one tribute fight that lasted 2-3 minutes, I believe, was just pure insanity.
Yep, the double dwarf tribute fight with Genji just dancing around at like no hit points just because both the Muradins were being a distraction. And of course, right at the end of the game, I just want to shout it out. The zoning mosh pit to deny Lampy any chance of a reset. It's such a... It's the situation of you're burning mosh pit and purposely not hitting anyone to win the game.
Yeah,
it's such good play.
A zoning mosh pit is usually a meme, let's be honest. But there it was not. It was a fantastic play.
Absolutely. And you know what else is fantastic?